Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Total War Warhammer 2, where we are at a climactic moment here in our war with Nagaryth, provided we win. I guess it's probably not that climactic if we lose, because they certainly won't be able to come down and defeat us or anything, but it will be annoying, because they'll get to reclaim some of the territory that we've taken from them, and it really would be best for us if we won here, because we already have more problems coming over the sea from Ulthuan. I don't want to have to deal with any of that crap. So, we must defeat Samith and Harathrel's armies here and now, and honestly, I think it's going to be tough. It would be difficult to overstate the degree to which each of these individual elven dudes is better than each of our dudes. Swordmasters of Hoeth are really powerful. You can see 47 melee attack, 37 melee defense may not seem totally mind-blowing on its face, but first of all elf units have this plus 2 melee attack, plus 12 melee defense while at high health thing, and there's a considerable amount, 14, plus 14 versus infantry. That's melee attack and weapon strength. And a lot of their damage is armor piercing, and they have the shielded trait, because despite the fact that they do not have shields, they can use their great swords to deflect arrows and bullets, like a Jedi. This is an extremely good unit, and they have 4 of them. And they have a bunch of arrows. They have some white lions, which are a little bit less good, but still pretty good. And they have a couple units of artillery that we'll have to be kind of careful about. They're not going to have the best use of them, because they're going to have to sit pretty far back away from the walls in order to be able to fire over the walls. We might be able to get ourselves into a position where they can't really hit us, but they're going to restrict our movement either way. It's also worth noting that while I am not in general terribly afraid of the Phoenix, because I don't feel like the AI uses them very well, they do have pretty high damage, a lot of it's armor piercing, and their attacks are magical and flaming, which is to say that if one of them gets a hold of Robert, he's going to get wrecked really quickly probably. So we have to be careful about that. And now, she says. Let's get in here. There's no reason we can't win this, but it's absolutely possible that I will play us out of winning this, because as we all know, I am not spectacular all the time at this game. But I have hope. I'm sad about this, the fact that it's a corner wall defense rather than a straight wall defense, because this is going to dramatically reduce the size of the safe areas. And it might seem like we could just go out here, because the towers are going to be facing this way and this way. But for some reason, the towers that are on the corner here, and we're fine with 19, that's cool. The towers that are on the corner here have these super wide firing arcs that make it so that they can shoot all the way up to the corner of the wall, so there are no safe spots. Now, you might ask, if such towers exist, these towers with these incredibly wide firing arcs, why aren't all towers those towers? And the answer is, there's absolutely no possible explanation. They did a bad here. They did a thing that doesn't really make sense in the larger context of the siege battles. Anyway, we still have some small area that will be safe from enemy fire. I'm pretty annoyed that you can't mouse over a tower and get its firing arc. Like, it's crazy that you can see the firing arc when you control it, and you can see the firing arc when the enemy controls it, but you cannot see the firing arc when no one controls it. So we're just going to have to guess here. We also have... Ooh, that's inconvenient. We also have reinforcements coming in as far away from any safe area as it is possible for them to be. So maybe we should move the whole army over to, like, here and come at... You know what? The best way to deal with this might be, in fact, to have our whole army group up way over in the corner here in an attempt to get the enemy to commit their units to this part of the wall and leave nobody in position to man the towers to fire at these guys. And then maybe, like, the idea is we clamber over the wall here and rush the town center and try to get control of the victory point and make them have to split their forces or something. I don't know if that's going to work, because they do know where we're coming in, so they may just choose to man up this part of the wall anyway. I guess we'll find out. I think it's the best plan we have access to. Let's put these guys here in the corner where they will probably be safe. It sure would be a cool thing for me to be able to know that. Alright, we're just going to create ourselves a nice tight ball of troops here. And right as soon as the battle starts, we'll rush up to the wall. And I think that is now. This is the moment of that thing. So all of the units that aren't these two, just get up here. And actually, probably want to stay as tight to the wall. I don't know. I don't know what's better for preventing enemy fire. Actually, let's have a quick look. Alright, we definitely want the mortars to be firing into their ranged units, probably into an area like this that is dense with other targets, so if we have any misses, we can, they'll at least hit something, probably. Queen Bess, being a little bit more accurate, can just go for this. It is worth noting, I guess we haven't talked too much about the way that the chevrons work, the leveling up, but if we turn on the numbers here, so like, for example, this gunnery mob, with a single level of XP, has these stats. This gunnery mob, with 5 levels of XP, has a little bit more leadership and a little bit more melee attack and defense, a little bit more missile damage, but what you don't see listed here is accuracy. There is an accuracy stat for each unit. It is just not on the UI for no reason. But my understanding is that the accuracy stat is one of the things that goes up the fastest for ranged units as they gain levels. So where I'm going with this is that I don't think we probably need to use Spiteful Shot on our mortars. I think that this mortar is leveled up enough that it's probably going to be pretty accurate as it is, and I really want to save all of my Winds of Magic for casting Silostra's other very good spells. So let's pop these right away because we do not have full reserves. And with that, I think we're good to keep going. Yeah, we're going to take some fire as we move up. You know what, I should probably actually have a plan here, though, right? Like, what do I do? What is the move? If we get all the way into the... Wow, okay. If we get all the way into the corner here and we make ourselves safe from the towers, how does that translate into me winning? I guess we have to threaten these guys enough to keep their attention over here, and also, like, I'm not able to put most of my army into play. We certainly can't get into melee range of any of these guys right away, right? So maybe if we could break down the gates and let our gunners get into position to actually shoot at some of the enemy infantry, that would be pretty good for us. A lot of our army is gunners, and they're not really useful firing up onto walls, as we've seen. It seems like almost all of their shots just hit the wall. So basically what I'm thinking is, do we want to have Robert and maybe also Silostra run over and attack the gate? Yeah, I'm gonna have Robert do it. Alright, he's gonna take some fire, but, you know, he's tough. He can handle it. And over here, we've got the first wave of reinforcements coming in. Don't exactly know what I want to do with you guys, but it's something like get over to the wall. So they have left the town square pretty undefended. If we're going to be climbing over the wall, I probably want to be climbing over it on this side rather than over here to make it hard for their melee to respond. So we probably need to be aiming for like something like that. And we're going to have to keep issuing orders to the enemy, or to our reinforcements as they stream in here. Eventually we're going to get some mortars coming in on that side. I'm not really sure what I want to do with them. But once Silostra is close enough to the wall, we probably want to throw a Vangeist's Revenge over it, is my thinking. Okay, maybe the mortars could use a little push. I don't really want to spend winds on that, but it kind of looks like they're screwing things up right now. Alright, we're probably close enough for a Vangeist, right? I want to do this as early as possible, keep the power flowing out of the reserves. So if we overcast a Vangeist's Revenge right here, we could probably do some real damage to this unit. We gotta weaken them as much as we can. And over here, we gotta keep issuing orders. New guys coming in. I think you probably don't yet have orders. Looks like the rest of these units are already moving. Yep, just get over here. We'll figure it all out when we see how they respond to our approach. Alright, let's watch the Vangeist thing go off. See if it does any good damage. Queen Bess could probably be retargeted here. Get him. Wow. Okay, not bad. Precipitous drop in morale, I'm noticing. Get him. Alright, so once he's actually in the alcove here, he's not vulnerable to fire anymore. Oh, they're Oh, this is artillery fire. This is their ballista in spread shot mode. So I need to... Okay. I think we maybe need to push our group a little tighter up against the wall here. It looks like Silostra maybe needs to back up as well. Really don't need to be taking all that extra fire. Yeah, maybe the mortars do need help. More than I thought they did. So yeah, firing on the groups just on top of the wall here is probably the right thing. I'm gonna do a spiteful shot back here. I think she can probably do it from this range. She has pretty good range on this. Yeah, 90 accuracy for 27 seconds. That should hopefully help. And the mortars are in over here. So what do we want to do with them? I see the enemy is approaching the wall. Well, maybe what we do with these mortars is just move them up into the nearest group of trees, so when they're not firing, they're not visible, and then we can decide what to do with them later. I do not think they are likely to be successful at running all the way across the map. It looks like you need orders. You need orders. Looks like everybody else is on the run, though. You're not. Okay. Yep, keep going. They are pulling some units off. Maybe this will be good as a distraction. This secondary army. And remember, we can't summon any units on the inside of the wall until we bring the gate down, it seems like, so... you have to wait a little bit. Speaking of the gate. Okay, artillery impacting on top of the gate is weakening the gate, so as long as none of them actually hit Robert, this is going to be pretty helpful. Queen Bess, start aiming at these Sea Guard. Maybe have the mortars come in on the Shadow Walkers a little bit, because the poison is very annoying. And we have the magic for another big Vangeist's Revenge. I kind of want to do it. Are these guys all moving? No, not all of them. So let's do another big Vangeist's Revenge right here. Or maybe right there. Thinking maybe we could get that... Sorry, hold on. That's probably the wrong... Can I please get my targeting cursor back? No, I cannot. What is going on? Okay, it's telling me I don't have enough winds to overcast because, as far as I know, there's no way to just, cancel a spell cast. I don't actually want to do this, but I did this so that it would give me back my targeting cursor for Vangeist's Revenge. It seems like issuing another order will cancel it sometimes. This would really like to do something else here. Nope, it just went ahead and casted it anyway. Oh well, whatever. The solution here is don't commit the spell in the first place until you're actually ready to fire the spell off, but hey, what are you going to do? Sometimes we make errors. Okay, this is very annoying. I probably need to re-aim the Queen Bess, so this has to stop. We can't really do a lot about it without just running way out of spell range. And even then, they're just going to shoot at my other units, I think. But we can make them not want to stand there anymore. Alright, we have enough wins for the Vangeist's Revenge. And their units are just moving back and forth erratically, probably trying to not let me do the thing I'm keen on doing. Well, I don't want to fire this very expensive spell off at a moving target. Okay. They're getting the message. Gate is at 60% of the way down. Okay, really good mortar fire. Let's get Queen Bess firing up here again. Actually, this is a better target. I think we can probably do some real damage. And they're not really getting a lot done against us. Okay, if these guys will stop moving for just a couple of seconds, I would really, really love to dump a whole lot of ghostly cannon fire on them. Okay, that looks promising. And you can ride up close enough to get that pretty easily. Oh, look at him dodging. Well, we still got some okay damage out of it. Alright, the Queen Best shot impacted on the front of the wall, it looked like, but it still actually did a reasonable amount of damage. I love how grouped up they are here. This is just beautiful. Looks like we get one more shot with... Nope, the Queen Best is out. And the gate is open. So, now is the time for the charging. Everybody get over here. I probably should have been paying more attention and started moving people earlier. And it really sucks that they're still in control of all of the gates, that we did not actually push anybody off of the wall. But we're in the open now. So, we got to figure out what exactly we are doing with our paladin. I would, under most circumstances, just have him ride to the center of town and murder their lord. But I can't do that with the phoenixes here. We can have him rush the swordmasters. They're not particularly good against the things that he has. All of their armor piercing is meaningless, and their physical, or all of their anti-infantry is useless. What do I want to do with you guys? They actually are defending the wall. Like, the towers are a real problem. Could we just maybe have this army fall back to the place where we're not shootable? Because it kind of seems like they're intent on bringing over almost all of their infantry to man the wall here, and if we just want to... we just let them do that, I think that actually puts the rest of our army in a really good spot. Yeah, they're not manning the towers that could shoot at the mortars, so we're just getting free kills on their infantry. This actually looks pretty good. All right, yeah, let's head on through. We definitely want to summon something over the wall quickly. Not sure, like... it looks like the casting range on the night spell is such that it really isn't castable through the wall. Oof, we're gonna eat some bad artillery shots here. Right, in particular, if their heroes come down off the wall, Robert's gonna have an all right time with that. Keep an eye on these phoenixes. My idea with the phoenixes is just let's get our dudes inside the wall and then set up the guns. And the gunners can handle the phoenixes. Alright, well. Jesus, I lost track. Doris does some alright damage against infantry. Alright, let's start summoning units on the inside of the wall, and we're going to rush the town center with them. It won't be a big deal if we lose the questing knights to a phoenix charge, and actually they'll probably do reasonable damage to the phoenix. They're really good units. They're not quite as good at charging a large thing as the other choice that we had there, but they'll get it done. And my hope is that there's so many of them in the unit that the enemy won't be able to prevent them from getting some of the artillery crew. And then we're also going to, I guess, sing and then summon crabs and have the crabs go around the other side here. We'll try to leave the units in the center. Nowhere to go. Wait until they're all the way spawned, because you can't give them orders. Apparently I didn't wait long enough. So you can see, I have no ability to issue orders to them until the game feels that they are all the way in, even though they were pretty clearly all the way in. Alright, you guys come around and charge them. Okay, their Sea Guard are breaking. Celestra is singing and just having, generally, a really good time. Have her charge in here. Robert's tearing dudes apart. God, I can't wait until the gunners are actually inside the wall. Now, they do have some significant number of people still up on the wall, but it's going to be easier to fight them from the inside. What are you guys doing? You have orders. You have very explicit orders. Get over here. No, these guys. Okay, do not get distracted by that Phoenix. Keep charging. There's absolutely no reason I have to let them have artillery, right? The Phoenix is eating some of them, and also they're deteriorating naturally, but honestly, it looks like the questing knights may kill all of the artillery before the Prometheans even get involved. Maybe we want to have at the princess with these guys. And then I'll have the crabs just try to charge through the Phoenix. Phoenix can't keep you all busy. Wait, if we killed their lord, I think they would have a very, very hard time maintaining control of the city center. Alright, so everybody needs to just kind of get through. Now, the enemy doesn't actually have a lot of stuff on the ground. So my order right now is just charge through to here. Robert has finished killing the thing that he was fighting. He does not want to charge the city center because the Phoenixes will kill him. Man, if we could get the Phoenixes baited over to here and Robert could charge their lord, I'm fairly confident he could get that done. I have left the bloated corpse on its own. It should probably be moved somewhere. You know what? I'm going to have the bloated corpse come around here. Because I don't know that we're going to open this gate anytime soon. But we might be able to get him in here and have him actually do something. So I guess Robert's just chilling for a little while. I think Celostra can go for the center. Okay, so the crew of one of the bolt thrower crews is permanently broken. The other one's getting close. Looks like we didn't really do that much damage to their lord. I guess it's not like super shocking. Do I want to save the second crab summon? No, I don't think so. I think we want to keep the pressure up. Okay. Robert has something to do. So, you guys get on these white lions, and you guys turn around and shoot at that dude. Robert actually probably has to charge the white lions. And actually, Silostra maybe should now... Silostra should probably turn around and fight these guys, and we'll let the crabs take the center. And by take, I mean keep the units in the center busy. Because the crabs definitely can't take the center. But they can be a distraction, and they can keep this artillery crew from getting back to their siege engines. Okay, so that's happening. Looks like my gunners have been bamboozled. Kill the Shadow Walkers, I guess? You can do that. Yes. Should probably sing. Okay, the artillery crew is not really running. Like they're leaving, but they're not like retreating. They don't feel like they're dying, which is bad. We need them to feel that way. All right, Robert, get over here and have at these guys. I kind of want to save the last summon of the knights until we get to the part of the battle where we're dealing with the rest of these units. Alright, they managed to figure out how to fire the cannons at us. Or the towers. I'm just gonna have the mortar crew move over. There's no reason you guys need to be taking that. Also, this guy's being shot at by a tower that's not currently being manned, so that's annoying. Alright, let's just keep an eye on what's going on. So they have not wanted to commit the Phoenix dudes outside of the city center. It looks like we haven't quite eliminated the bolt throwers. That's probably not enough crew to run more than one, but I'd love it if they couldn't even run one. Wouldn't that be nice? We are getting through all of these units. Keep an eye on Celostra and make sure that she is using her arcane conduit absolutely on cooldown. If we can't get the gunnery mobs to actually come inside, get away from the enemy melee, and maybe shoot this mage in the face. Robert and Silostra are doing a pretty good job of breaking all these dudes. The deckhands are actually getting to participate, which is cool. Okay, you tell them. I think that gunnery mob just vomited its assent to my orders, which is, you know, it's good that they're doing what they're told. I guess that's what I'll say. Alright, let's have this bloated corpse. He's actually going to get over here and be a part of the game. You know what? You guys probably are not accomplishing a huge amount by chasing them. Why don't you turn around and threaten these dudes instead? Because if at some point those fleeing warriors turn around and decide they want to fight my deckhands, they'll just win. My deckhands will be immediately defeated. So the bloated corpse is probably not going to do very good damage against the individual tough units that are hanging out in the center over here, but I want him to threaten those guys. All right, and you two. You know, they're letting us do some real damage over here. They do not seem to have a lot of respect for their own well-being. I think this is going pretty well, honestly. Yeah, see, these guys are turning around as we knew they would, and Robert is going to show them the error of their ways. She probably doesn't need to sing. I think we could save the song for the moment. Gunners are doing a good job gunnerying. Robert approaches and the elves change their minds. He didn't even actually hit them before they gave up. These guys are trying to get away, but the mob have trapped them in. They really can't. There is a single bolt thrower throwing bolts, which is not okay. So let's grab all you guys. Honestly, let's grab all of the gunnery mobs in this part of the army and have them form up kind of over here generally. And then we're just going to rain bullets on all the birds and stuff. And Robert probably should keep chasing these guys until he gets them to the end of the map. They're not going to turn around on him. He's too scary. And he can actually push them all the way out. These guys just like really don't even want to be part of what's happening over here. I wonder, I'm assuming because he's monstrous infantry that he can't get up on the wall. But he could come over here and get control of the gate. That might be interesting for us. Mortar fire on this side is a little bit less accurate because these mortars have no levels. But this is how they get them. And we really gotta stay focused over here because the most dangerous thing that can happen is those phoenixes moving into position before we're ready. The Velostra's still fighting something. Oh, I guess, yeah, there's still swordmasters trapped in the melee. It looks like we might be able to get together the wins for another Vangeist's Revenge. Come on, guys, hurry up. Okay. Robert has finished chasing those units off. The Shadow Walkers are permanently broken, so we don't need to threaten them. Gonna have Robert come over here for the moment. The Bloated Corpse is actually taking control of the gate, and they're just letting it happen because they're too afraid to do anything else. We've dealt a ton of damage to these guys without having to engage with them at all, which is just spectacular. And they still have these units up here who they should be doing something. I don't know why they're not. Okay, Silostra, you can start moving in. Those swordmasters are permanently broken. We don't need to keep on them. I'm going to have a couple of units of just normal deckhands actually get up on the wall and try to finish off the Sea Guard, because the deckhands are not going to do anything of value other than that. Okay. As one, target the Phoenix. If he runs forward, Silostra is here to intercept and to sing. I do not think it makes sense to cast any spells right at this moment. Yeah, I mean, we're getting damage. Gonna have to do something. These guys still have full ammunition, by the way. That this bolt thrower crew has almost not fired at all. I don't know why they're not moving in on us. It seems like they should be moving in on us, doesn't it? Okay, looks like we finally formally broke all those guys. You guys honestly should probably get inside the wall. Yeah, they're just losing that Phoenix right away, so that's cool. And then... So basically, they let us fire at the Phoenix as long as I wanted to fire at the Phoenix, and then eventually they brought it over and attacked Celestra with it, and she killed it. Although she did take considerable damage in the doing so. Alright, the Eagle is a much less good unit. And Celestra probably has it under control, but also, why not have Robert come over here and help, right? Minimize the damage on her. Oh, here's why, because Phoenix. Alright, Sing. Seems like a good time for some knights, since it looks like these guys are never going to join the battle. Get him! Get him! The lady does in fact will it. I love the fact that they say the lady wills it, because, you know, when you're playing as Bretonia, that means one thing. And when you're playing as Celestra, it means something slightly different. Let's make sure we're staying in on the Phoenix. And honestly, Celestra's kind of losing. She's not losing, but she's taking a lot of damage. I think at this point, all of the melee that aren't up there fighting should probably just storm the middle. And as soon as the birds are dead, everybody's going in. And as soon as the Phoenix is dead... Actually, you know what? The Phoenix abandoned its lord. I think Robert can take her. She's a princess, right? So I think high elf princesses are a little bit more ranged focused. She's going to have a tough time fighting Robert in close combat. And it kind of seems like Celestra maybe needs to withdraw. Yeah, she's getting there. Let's have her finish it off. I'm going to actually have Robert maybe pull back. I'm not comfortable with him being that close to the Phoenix. Okay, Phoenix is fleeing. You guys, do your best. Actually, it looks like they're breaking. Okay, they totally broke. Awesome. So this is going to be the end of this faction, right? They now have a single non-walled settlement and no armies. And honestly, we took that with minimal losses. We are very close to an awful lot of losses. And we do not have good replenishment out here in the wasteland. The wasteland of our own creation. But this is a good start. Man, one of those units of swordmasters had 129 kills. What on earth? Like, who? Who did they kill 129 of? I guess when we were all trying to rush through the gate, this must be the group of guys who eventually got run over by Celestra. But they wandered into the back of our units at the gates. They probably killed 129 handgunners. But handgunners are in units of like 160, right? So 129 spread over 6 units doesn't even really show up. It's a win, but it's not a win that allows us to just like keep pushing forever. We really need to get this conflict with Nagaryth over, because we have other stuff that we need to take care of. But hey, at least Celestra's having a good time, right? Oh, I mean, that's a pretty developed city. That's fair. Okay, she almost leveled up again. And if we raise the city, we get 3,000 gold. If we established a cove, we would get a lot more than that. But we have to get rid of Arnheim. It's either occupy or raise. We could take one more province, and if we occupied this, it would give us a place to replenish for a turn. But I really, really don't want to have to administer more land to the north that we would then have to consider keeping safe. And
you are making a mistake.
I'm just gonna burn it. Let's be rid of him. So we've acquired a Crown of Command, which allows him to make a unit unbreakable, briefly. That's fine, I guess. Got a channeling staff. We got an unliving ship's cook. Let's apply that to somebody. I don't know if Celestra's army really needs it most of the time. I think we'll give it to his army. His army could use some more replenishment. Celestra's having some trouble right now, but she won't She won't forever. So if loyalty is between 9 and 10, leadership up, upkeep down. Wow, I didn't realize that there were huge buffs for having high loyalty. Well, this guy's been having a great time. He sure does love to burn down enemy cities. So what were we doing with her? We were picking up red line skills with her. I do want to keep buffing my gunners. And then you probably need to replenish a little bit here. So first thing we want to do is grab these units, right? And then we could fold together some of our stuff. Oh, I didn't spend his skill point. Yeah. He should probably get Route Marcher. And then this is just 7 units in a garrison with no walls, and they're not very good units. I think maybe we can just, even though Lenny's army is pretty torn up, I think we could just have him handle it and then Celestra go back south, because we're getting attacked, aren't we? Yeah. Sir Thara Belkek has led an actual army against Skeggy, and her army's large enough to take it. Is Skeggy anywhere near being able to build walls? No, it doesn't even have level 3 on the settlement yet. Well, that's very unfortunate.
Join me.
We may as well dig for treasure, because there's absolutely no reason not to. And then go into replenishment mode and get a little bit.
What is your demand?
And then here, we could combine our 2 units of handgunners.
Fall in, deckhands.
And then pull in a new unit of handgunners. Combine our 2 units of bombers, maybe? And replace one of them with another unit of deckhands. Just trying to up the body count of the army. I don't think it's a good idea to kick anything for a bloated corpse, which is the only other thing in the raised dead pool. And then, yeah, you gotta keep running. And I guess this coming turn we can decide what to do with Celestra. We don't have to have a plan right now. Also, Eve Hodgson hasn't moved. She has... Oh, she was headed toward the Galleon's graveyard, that's right. Although, she hasn't established a cove, so we do have a moment here where we could go and try to find a good elf port, like Angariel. Get a cove established up there, and then we can go treasure hunting with her while her cove establishment is on cooldown. We also have Viola Drury, who was on her way over to do cove stuff as well, I think? Where am I... It's been a weekend, hold on. Where are my treasure maps at? Up there, over there, way down at the bottom. Yeah, we pretty much just need people to go east.
Fury.
I'll tell you what, we'll have her go over here. I don't know if we've searched the Moon Shard. Can be searched for treasure. Okay, we'll do a puzzle at the Moon Shard next turn, and then we'll launch her east from there. We'll figure out all of the other coves and stuff that we wanted to establish. And then down here, I think it behooves us to get proper walls up on these coastal settlements wherever we can. The floating pyramid should definitely build a garrison structure, because I don't know what all these rats and everyone down here are doing, but I would love it if they didn't come up here and surprise me. And then, man, we have a lot of money. Oh, can we make an important upgrade on Celestra's ship, maybe? She doesn't quite have enough population for us to add another building type, but we could upgrade one of these. 4,000 gold for 10% extra campaign movement range, and 3 extra winds of magic is actually not insignificant. An upkeep reduction for all units is also pretty cool. We're only paying 3105 for her army. Huh. So a 5% upkeep reduction is not really a lot of gold. Yeah, I think I want the movement range. We have a little bit more money. Fallen Gates doesn't really need upgrades. We could get the Eastern Bazaar going, though, to lower the cost of all the other construction we're going to do in this region. This thing is generating a fairly large garrison on its own, but we might want to just put a garrison structure back in here. I know that I took it out. You know what? We're not close to being attacked. They're not going to do that. So yeah, I think I am going to install the Eastern Bazaar here. Let's get the spices hooked up. And speaking of hooking up luxuries, are there any factions that I could have trade routes with? A lot of people got coast, or a lot of people have docks, and could trade with us, but very few of them like me. In fact, none of them like me. The only people who like me are Bleakholds, and Bleakholds don't have a port.
Lord of Fear.
Well, hopefully they'll fill in some of this territory in here. I'd be fine with the Dark Elves having all that. Yeah, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't nervous about what's going on here, but there's not a lot we can do. Skeggie's gonna fall, or it's not. Nothing that our armies can do about it this turn. And Silostra is pretty fast. On her turn, she might be able to get into a place where we can limit that push. I don't think we can keep Skeggie, but I think we can probably keep them from pushing anywhere beyond Skeggie, and then we can take Skeggie back. And once Nagaryth is well and truly gone, we can focus both of our navies to the east. We'll try to take over a bunch of the stuff on the east coast here first, I think. See if we can't eliminate some of the smaller factions. The fewer different factions we have throwing bodies at us, the better. If things were totally equal, if all of the elf AI factions worked like us, it wouldn't really matter that much who we took stuff from, but because we're playing on a high difficulty level, each of the AI factions gets a certain amount of resources for free every turn. So the fewer factions we're at war with, the fewer instances of free income we have to deal with. We're going to lose this no matter what, but we probably ought to actually fight it to maximize their casualties. Just make it easier for Silostra to pick them off and take Skeggie back once she gets back down here. God, I cannot wait until all of our enemies are in the same direction again. This thing where we have to be defending multiple, or at least engaging in war on multiple sides. I haven't really done a lot of defending yet. Is a real bummer, man. It really sucks. So the good news is elves are not highly armored, so the handgunners or the pistol mobs probably can actually do some damage, but they do have shields. So we have to try to get them engaged and then hit them from the back. And they do have a unit of actual good archers and a unit of Sea Guard. And our deck droppers are... They're going to be fine, I guess, as long as we keep them away from the archers. Not really a lot of tactics to apply here. Alright, set them up as thin as possible. We really want to maximize firing surface. So we're going to try something like this. We're going to leave some gaps in the formation, into which we will place our melee so that they can run forward and engage when engagement time is upon us. Then we got to try to figure out where we're going to put this bloated corpse in the hopes of giving it an actual chance of catching some enemies. I'm really hopeful that we can maybe get some of the pistol guys to wrap around and catch the enemy from behind. I'm going to have the deck droppers on this side, further away from their 2 units of ranged. I'm hoping that we can just shoot some guys in the back. And then Bloated Corpse, what do you do? It sort of doesn't matter where he goes. I don't really want him to wait until the enemy engages, because I'm worried about killing my own units, right? But I also don't want to necessarily attack them like right now, because I would love it if we could get more than one of them in the attack. We're going to take him through the trees. Hopefully they won't be able to see his approach. Let's try something here. Okay, he is very stealthy. I hate this. Their archers outrange me slightly, and these guys can fire while running, so actually even like going up after them doesn't really help us, probably. Yeah, never mind that. Just stay put. I hate these guys so much. They're really cool units, to be clear. They're super cool units, and they're probably really fun to use, but man, it sucks to fight them. Okay, what would be best is if our bloated corpse could actually kill some of those archers, maybe? I'm going to have him do this. Alright, a deckhand mob getting lost this early in the fight is not a big deal. Get out there, get into the middle. Okay, we're starting to get our shots off, and now you guys need to start firing into their flanks. Oh, they're turning around. They want to fight the bloated corpse. Or they just want to minimize the impact of the bloated corpse. Alright, so at this point, we probably need to start moving moving these guys up and forming some walls. We're gonna try to keep enough space to fire through, but I also don't want to let the enemy get onto my gunners too much, and then hopefully the gunners can, once we have engaged a little bit, do some flanking or something. Yeah, I mean, this is what I want. I want to kill their ranged. The fewer range they have, the better it is for Silostra's eventual attack. You guys are committed already? Holy crap. Oh, wait. I kind of wanted to let the melee engage me right next to their ranged. Trying to slow roll this. Okay, that was great. Half of that unit and all of that unit. Perfect. Okay, we're getting some stuff done here. Move up a little bit more. Where can we put the rest of these gunners? I mean, that should be very shootable. The handguns... Boy, I mean, the handguns could just be shooting these guys because there's actually no zombies near them. But yeah, this is about to be over. It is remarkable how little damage we're getting done here.
Yes, Captain. On the way.
Okay, like, you know, enough handgun fire can solve almost any problem. We might actually get some work done over here. Those guys are dropping morale rapidly. Anywhere that we can fire into the backsides of these units is valuable. I'm not really taking a lot of damage. It's just the Sea Guard that are shooting at us, and there aren't really that many of them left. Okay, we broke down that unit. You can be shooting these guys in the back. This handgun mob is gone. Yeah, I mean, like, this is cool. When some of these guys are engaged in melee, the others can still be firing. We're getting some damage here. Considering how bad our garrison units are, this is not a terrible outcome. Okay, hold on. Maybe you guys have to move up a little bit more to get a clean shot, and that's why you're not shooting. I do really appreciate units that can shoot on the run. Alright, we are losing ground. I would say that is a fair assessment of the situation. But yeah, we've done some alright damage here. This should not be too difficult for Silostra to clean up, even with her army in kind of bad shape. You know what she still has is a full health mortar unit and a full health Queen Bess. The fewer ranged we have to deal with here, the better. Alright, can we have the deck droppers turn around and shoot the Shadow Warriors a bit? Okay, hey, this front's going alright. If these guys break, we can intercept the Spearmen over here. We're doing some okay damage against the Shadow Warriors. Shadow Walkers? Shadow Warriors. The thing is, I think they have a unit called Shadow Warriors and a unit called Shadow Walkers, so it's really easy to get those confused. Yeah, at this point though, there's not a lot of strategy to apply anymore. Just let this play out. A close defeat. I feel like the game is trying to protect my feelings there. Yeah, we killed like a third of their army off. That's not so bad. Most importantly, we did a disproportionate amount of damage to their ranged, which is going to help us out a lot in the long term. So, if they just burn Skeggy, that's annoying. If they take Skeggy, that actually might be less of a problem. Because obviously that'll mean I have to root them out, but it'll also mean that the place is still intact when we get down there to take it back. Man, I hope that I did not entrust, what's-his-face, the Clotter, with too much responsibility. I really need him to get this job done. Okay, so they took Skeggy. That's probably good for us. These guys don't have the resources to do a whole lot at this point. Bleakhold Fortress is their only city, and we know that they raised the army that we defeated in Arnheim pretty quickly, so they might actually be broke. Broken with basically no income. And here comes this Reich Admiral. Oh man, do I not have time for you. Leonard, get out of here. Okay. So.
All bones on deck. At last we will feast. Shamble.
Let's move you up here, and then before we have you actually attack the fortress, check the raised dead pool. Local raised dead pool does have 2 units of deckhands. I wonder if we should collapse some handgunners.
Quench my thirst with elf blood.
Alright, buddy, we will quench your thirst with elf blood. That's happening. Just give me a second. I think I want to keep the injured units of handguns. It's difficult for him to recruit handguns, or at least more difficult than it is for Celostra. I think we should be able to handle this. Let's do it.
Fight them. Through.
So he's got a pennant which will give leadership to somebody. I'm going to put it on one of the injured units of handgunners, just in case. And Strider, which means you get to ignore speed and combat penalties caused by terrain. Well, that should go on a melee unit, but honestly, that is probably irrelevant. And it looks to me like we probably don't have to manual this. Although, I'm going to manual it because I'm a little worried that if we hit auto-resolve, it's going to kill all of those injured units of handgunners. That is definitely a thing that happens in the auto-resolver sometimes. Injured units just die, regardless of what they are. We can probably do better than the auto-resolver here. So once we have Nagaroth wiped out, both of our armies withdraw to our territory, rebuild themselves, get access to some of those new, better units that we've got access to. I believe Lenny can recruit from Silostra's recruitment buildings if he's in the same province that she's in. So we could get him some gunnery mobs and stuff. Okay, we're definitely going to stick with 20. So we haven't talked about Lenny's spells at all. I didn't touch his spells during the big battle because Winds of Magic are an army-wide resource. So, Winds of Magic are an army-wide resource. So if he had cast, it would have pulled winds out of the pool that I would rather spend on Silostra. But we could have probably thrown some Invocations of Nehek toward the end. So Invocation of Nehek is a heal over time. It replenishes the hit points of the living figures in the unit, and then if the unit gets to full health on all of its living figures, and there's still time left on the invocation, it will start raising the dead figures. It's pretty powerful, and it's quite cheap. We also have access to a speed and melee attack booster, and it's a lot of melee attack. Also quite cheap. It looks like I don't get to see them until after we set up. That makes sense. I'm the aggressor here. But, like, this is probably pretty straightforward. Now, the big danger here... They don't really have a lot of melee. So the big danger here is that they use their horses to charge us, to charge our ranged, instead of using them to just do ranged damage. But that's, like, it's not really a big danger, and if they do that, we will just shoot them a lot. So... this is probably the wrong formation. have these guys on the sides, I guess. We'll just have them run forward as soon as the battle starts. I don't think we want to be coy about this. They have enough range that have range better than my own that it doesn't make sense not to just charge them. And I also don't care what happens to my deckhands. It's a little harsh but true. Remember that we also... The Trickster Shard won't actually do anything here, but we also have 4 uses of Tide Call. Which is speed lowering. It looks like it doesn't do... It doesn't actually say on this that it does damage. But we could use this to break the speed of the horses a little bit. Alright. Mortars go. They tried to back off a little bit here. I think they're going to find that that is not actually a good play. Alright, if you guys are going to miss, could you miss 2 by going over? Well, that almost hit the horses, which is kind of crazy when you consider where it was actually aimed. Are they really just going to let me do this? Because I will totally just sit here and do this. You can apply a fast forward until they start moving in on us. Okay, there we go. So their real archers have a little bit more range than our guns do, but once they start opening up, yeah, good enough for me. Let's actually attack. I'm gonna have these guys attack in 2 groups. Other unit of horses is trying to be tricky. I think we'll probably just advance and have at the archers for right now. And if the horses come around, we'll deal with them then. The bombers have a slightly different job because they don't have the ability to fight from such a long range. I'm actually going to have them kind of wing out around here, and my hope is that we can throw bombs at those horses. But also, who knows? Maybe we'll get... Maybe we'll just get around the backside of this formation and throw bombs into the spears or something. And then I think that Invocation of Nehek can't heal a unit beyond what it started a battle with. But let's find out, I guess. If this actually works, we should see that unit gain figures, right? Yeah, it looks like it doesn't actually work. I'm going to give a speed buff to these guys. So I imagine our polearm pirate captain here should be a pretty good fighter, although it is worth noting that I do not expect him to be as good a fighter as that noble, so we should maybe be a little careful. Oh, bloated corpse, right. Yeah, you should, like, totally participate. Guns, more bullets. Quickly, quickly. Back off, back off. Oh my god, he just obliterated them. Holy crap, that was a little bit more effective than I was expecting that to be. Okay, so these guys should be headed for here. These guys should be headed for there. The horses over here are doing some fine work. Not a lot we can do about that. These are handguns. Let's change their focus. And I'm, I guess, going to have these gunners, or these bombers, just run this way. We're probably going to have to deal with the spearmen. I suspect we will not be able to kill them or cause them to run in time. Probably going to have to actually deal with that. Okay. Never mind. They have turned around. They're trying to help their lord, but this is like a really bad play from a tactical perspective. And actually, my lord is holding his own in that fight, and he's going to, in fact, do a good job of keeping this thing in place for us to shoot at. Alright, well, I don't think I want to throw bombs at my lord while he's fighting their lord. Or, you know, vice versa. Alright, their archers are just trying to leave the battlefield, which I think is probably the best play they have. Yeah, this is over. The only tricky part here is going to be getting their lord to actually surrender. You guys should probably stop doing that. You probably have these guys come back. I think the chasing this archer unit off the map is really a one deckhand mob sort of job. Oof, we're having a lot of trouble actually getting shots off on this guy. I think it's because of the terrain. You can see it's a little bit uneven. And that's a lot less of a problem for arrows. Okay, there we go. They came around the uneven part a little bit and immediately got shredded. Okay, so that's the end of that. And not only is that an annoying faction that was being a real problem for us, but that is faction number 2 on our list of factions that have to be destroyed for us to win the game. So, actual real forward progress here. I know it feels like we're cleaning up an action that's going to allow us to focus on the real game again, but this did need to happen. Also, hey, look at that. 52 kills on a unit of pistols. These pistol mobs are not bad. They've been kind of weird and bad for us because we've been fighting first a lot of lizard men, which are very armored. Very, very heavily armored army on the whole. And secondly, an army of Norskins that pistols should normally be good against, except they had tacked all the way up to their heavily armored units already. But like here, where normal spearmen only have like 15 or 30 armor, I think. They're actually able to put up. I definitely don't want to occupy this. Just burn it. I'm hoping to get that that trait that you get for burning stuff on him to combine with the fact that he already has a natural reduction in enemy holdout time. So I don't know exactly what all we want to do with him, but I do know that as a vampire lord, he should have the hunger. So as long as he's in melee, he's replenishing HP. This is one of the things that makes vampire lords awesome. And out of curiosity, is there anything cool in the Raised Dead pool? Not really. You know what? I kind of think I want to have a bloated corpse in his army. Okay, but that should be Naggareth wiped out, right? 0 provinces. They're actually showing up as still having some strength. I thought they were out of armies entirely. But I guess that must not be the case. Well, that's annoying. Okay, full move speed. So we got to get over to the ziggurat. That's probably where we want to make our stand. Yeah. Alright, it's unfortunate that it's going to be so very much movement. God, look at that crab. The crab is so cool. Oh, this is a friendly ocean, or friendly sea. So we're getting our full replenishment here, which is great. And you can solve me a quick puzzle, because I like puzzles. Okay, this is the unique symbols one, so let's see. There's another one of these, another one of those. Are these both unique? Uh-oh. Oh, no, sorry, there's a yellow one of these. So this shape is completely unique. Wow, a 20% ward save talisman. That's a pretty good pull, especially for such an easy puzzle. Let's hook Lenny up. Lenny has this Kraken Tusk in that slot. Honestly, that's not that good. 20% ward save is going to make him feel a lot more like our other important combat characters. And then over here, you know, maybe we actually want to give her wound, because there's kind of a lot of enemies running around. And if she could be, like, dropping enemy heroes and stuff, yeah, that's probably worth picking up. Alright, who else? Eve was headed for here to establish a cove. That's very expensive. The thing is, I don't think we're actually going to be in position to take this anytime soon. So how many turns is it going to take to pay off? We just put in... Nope, she didn't actually do it. There we go. Alright, so we put in 3,300 plus 1,000 to get 450. So it's going to be like 10 turns for that to pay itself off. I think it will, though. I think we will take at least that long. Okay, an even greater reduction in cove cost is extremely welcome. And then she's actually pretty close to one of the treasures, right? While the flora of the world is exquisite in its danger and beauty, it has always been the fauna that poses the greatest threat. Huh. So, are there, like, scary animals somewhere around here? I don't see any, but the area that's marked out on the map is basically the entire inside of the cauldron. So, who knows? Maybe we'll find something up north. The Sword of Cain apparently is over here in potentially Avalorn's control, which would not be good for us. I think they declared war on me, didn't they? That could be really bad, actually. Yes, we are formally at war with almost every high elf faction in the game. And Avalorn is showing as the 7th strongest faction, Lothern as the 4th. Man, we need friends. We need allies in this conflict. All right, I'm a little concerned that they're going to ride on the Ziggurat, because actually they could take it if they have the movement range. The Ziggurat's garrison is very weak. Well, I mean, nothing for it, right? I have 300 gold. Not a lot I could do. Alright, them running around securing influence is like a problem in a very abstract sense. Not something we can do anything about right now. Eve Hodgson has become even better at avoiding assassination attempts. And she got the thing that I was trying to get done. So I don't guess it's too big of a deal if she gets wounded at this point. Although, obviously, it'd be really cool if she could get that treasure first, at least. It is a great hoard of treasure, so it'll probably be like 5,000 gold. Oh yeah, we're still working on this. I guess Sylvester's ship is level 5 now, but it's going to be like 8 population points to build the balcony. So it's probably going to have to wait a little bit. And unfortunately, now that he's finished burning down Naggareth, he's going to have to walk home, which is going to be a long process. And I'm going to have to push off Tiranoc, and then we're going to have to deal with this the sea shanty army like immediately afterward. Oh, hey, look at that. Naggareth just claimed another territory. So we know where their army is. It's up here. Well, it looks like Lenny the Clotter still has things he has to get done up here. The good news is, Hag Hall, with actual 0 garrison, does allow us to waltz right in there. I guess we'll see how long it remains at actual 0. Honestly, this is kind of a scary army, too. That's mortars and a dragon and Norskin berserkers. I'm concerned. Oh, the Curse of the Bountiful Treasure is available. There is absolutely no reason not to perform it immediately. Sweet, sweet money. And then I think this is where we're going to leave it. So we're gonna come back and actually play out this turn next time. That is going to be it for us for today. Thank you all so much for watching. We're making good forward progress. Objectives are getting checked off. We're making money. We're finally able to come home and properly replenish. Come back next time to see if we can turn all of these minor advantages into a little bit of wiping all of the high elves off the face of the planet. And we'll see you then.